Why, hello, everyone. What's up? Welcome. It's GleeCon, and I'm glad you're here and tuning into another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On this show, we try to cover every single thing in the game, and we've been doing it for years. Every piece of lore, every book, all kinds of stuff. And the longest journey we've been on is a World of Warcraft Classic Complete walkthrough. All said and told, when this chapter of my life is done, whenever that is, at this rate, never. Say 5 years, 10 years down the line, when we've really literally covered everything. I bet you this will be the part of the journey that was the longest. One, because we had a reboot, and just two, there's nothing that takes longer than just getting through all the content in World of Warcraft Classic. No expansion can compete with it, and redoing all of it on retail also can't compete. So thanks for taking this journey with me. We're pretty far along, about 2/3 of the way through the game. We just finished all of Uldaman and Badlands. They're kind of intimately tied together, both Alliance and Horde. We're now going to start the next zone in what I call Tier 5 of the 8 tiers of the game. So this is Dustwallow Marsh that we're going to start today with Alliance. Stay a while and listen. Today's not going to be a mega long episode. It's not going to be super duper short, but I'm going to try to clock maybe an hour today. Famous last words said by GleeCon on many an occasion. But I think what we're going to try to do is set that quest up. And we have some armor and stuff to work with, but I still have a lot of mithril that I need. So there's not a lot going for me there. Oh, I remember that I also said I need that moon sword when I get there. This Moonsteel broadsword. I will be needing this, unfortunately. We have to make 2 total. And on the Horde, we're going to need one. We might be having to help our Horde allies out. I mentioned that last time. We probably won't even discuss it that much this episode. All right, well, let's look at the spreadsheet and see how we need to get started, because we're starting a new zone. The journey to Astronar is going to happen while we're there. We'll pick that up and kind of see how it goes. We need to go to Stormwind for the Missing Diplomat portion. And then that's going to send us kind of around the world and culminate there. And other than that, there's the Morgenstern quest in Stormwind. And Feast of the Blue Recluse, which happens back at the end once we get back to Stormwind. So it looks like the only ones we really need are Stormwind quests. If we just double check, go back to Darnassus and see, is there anything at that elf capital? There's an Ungoro quest. There's a bunch of PvP. The Mage Weave. That is going to send us into Ungoro as well. They actually go to each other. This one goes here. So nothing needed in Darnassus. You could argue, what are these? Oh, because I need all that true silver. That's what that is. Darkman Fair is here. That's going to be neat when we do that, but, cool. All kinds of Maraudon quests as we peek around the world. Okay, so that's pretty good. Then if you look at the Ironforge capital where we're at right now, Brassbolt Brothers is breadcrumb that leads us to Gazrilla, which is Zul'Farrak. There is Passing the Burden. Looks all good. Nothing. This Passing the Burden, that's not anything. It's too high level. I don't even have to. So this says speak with Tabitha in Dustwallow Marsh, but it's actually part of another dungeon, so I'm not worried about that. All right, so we're okay here. So let's just go ahead and hearth, save ourselves a little bit of time. We have some extra things we can do. Some things we have to sell. We also are a little bit off here because we could do the... Where are we at with... our sword. We are back to two-handed swords with this new weapon, and we are quite low. We're level 17, so we're 30 levels behind because we got the Stone Slayer. Kind of a neat weapon we're going to be trying out. I kind of like it. And we also I got a really neat one on last night's episode where we did Uldaman. All right, so let's see what we have here. This one actually doesn't appear on maps if you talk to this lady. But it's her. She also wants to send you to Staghelm. Okay. Yeah, what was my alternate weapon? It was this bone biter. So, checking out what we had, the actual DPS here is 87.1. When I have bone biter on, it is 86.4. So that's only like 7 points of damage different to gain, but I'm losing 10 stamina. That's with the 20 strength too. And I'm losing the fiery blaze. So the 7 versus 10, but I'm also getting this on hit. That's just too good. I really think overall this is better, especially it's not a 3-to-1 ratio if I'm going to do it. I like to do that with my DPS. So long story short, I think this is going to be better for us in the long run, this Stone Slayer. I don't like to go to whatchamacallit, the dummies. We're just going to slowly mess it up. I don't need gold thorn. I don't even know why I have some of that stuff in there. All right, so let's go ahead and put this backpack in. First of all, we can go ahead and add it in the spot of this woolen bag. Cool. So now I have an extra woolen bag I can stick in there. We looked at these male, 22 attack power versus the... Now I have an enchantment on there. So this is... It's basically like 11 strength. This is only 7, but I'm losing the... So I would gain 1, but I'd lose 8 stamina. And that's actually arguable. That might be better. Because 8 stamina to gain basically like 1 attack power. And that's part of it from an enchantment. But also I get the extra damage. The extra armor. 65 points of armor. 32.4. And that's... Where did it go? Oh, I put it in the bank. I right-clicked and I put it in the bank. That's 0.6, so that's like 6 points there. That's actually pretty darn close. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to wear Ionar's Braces of Power. So I'm losing a lot of stamina to go this route. To lose Bone Biter and to... Where are those other braces? Where they literally... They're right there. Yeah, overall I'm losing 18 points of stamina. But I'm gaining a little bit of armor, just a pinch. But that 18 points of stamina is going to hurt my life. It's just, I'm down, essentially just lost 200 life. Now these armors, these are better. I did gain this whole attack power defense. That was an upgrade I got while I was there. Oh, this is male for male. Remember, we're trying to switch over to plate when and if we can help it. We did get this. I did gain stamina for the Talvesh enhancing necklace. It's good. So 5 agility is what it cost me, and I gained a total of 16 other points. So that does meet my criterion of the 3-to-1 ratio of better stats. Okay, cool. So neat, and I'll take it. I do have some heavy leather that's going to help me when I go to make that sword. And I do have a lesser moonstone there as well. We can put that in the bank. Why not? Let's put some of these ingredients in the bank where we can. Don't need that. What the heck is even Bone Grip's note? Why? It keeps making me put them in there. I think that's all good. All right, so let's open up some of this other stuff. These are all blacksmithing quests. I can now toss out this bloodstained journal. Bone Grip's note. Where was that? Where's that? Way up there. Yeah, that's where the star, the hand, and the heart. When we did that one on both accounts already. This is a true silver bar. I guess I'm keeping that for now. Okay, I can use blacksmithing to make my stones. Looks like I can make some mithril pants and everything too. We can make solid grinding stones, and then I can make heavy grinding stones. So that's good to get some of that out of there. Just clear up a pinch, and we have to pick up our quests while we're here. Perfect. And heavy grinding stone. Alright, and then we got to sell some of this stuff to get ourselves ready to roll. I have one. I mean, I have just this random stuff all over. Okay, and then how about bandages? Let's go ahead and make these. So we're just cleaning up right now. You know, we finished a dungeon and now we're starting a new zone. So there's a little bit of that is what tonight's about. But it really won't be that long. We're going to pick up the stuff right here. And we possibly will have to travel. I mean, we need that heavy mage weave too, so I actually could be making that because I'm not to rune cloth status yet, so I actually should make that too. Oh, but did I get that when I was in Dustwallow? I don't know. I guess we'll wait on that one. I don't think so though. I think 260 is what gives us rune cloth, so I think we're actually good on. I think I can start using the heavy mage weave now. Silk's not doing anything for me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and open that up. I don't think I was saving that for any reason. I think we need to make heavy mage weave at least up into 260. And heavy mage weave can be used to get you all the way to 300. It's going to take hundreds, if not possibly thousands of mage weave to do that. But it could save you your rune cloth if you're wanting to use the rune cloth for other stuff. We will have plenty of time to get all this. It's the wool that's really slowing this down.
What can I have? Best deals in all of Stormwind, my friend.
Oh, that's not what I want. Now, if we take a peek at, like, that is mage weave that we need there, but if we go back to Ironforge, that's mage weave. That's mage weave. So what is it, Darnassus? Did I do all the wool that I need? Oh, okay. So that's it. I just need mage weave. So this person's caught off. It must be on my horde character. All right, let's go sell some of this stuff, and then we'll go start picking up just a couple quests. But one of them is an important chain.
Greetings. Have you
That's
come?
Peen. Whoopeen.
The ways of armed combat?
Ah, Whoopeen. Nice to meet you,
Best
Whoopeen.
deals in all of Stormwind, my friend. Won't find any better.
Okay, almost a silver. Sell me those bandages. You can have that. You can have that. Let's put that there. You can have this necklace. We no longer need that. You can buy these chips. Dang it, that needs to go back to the bank. Do I actually need zesty clam meat? Good question. Oh, I got some good recipes here. Bang, bang, bang. I can make dragon breath chili, so I need to stop there. It's some cooking while I'm here. That's it, but I can make dragon breath chili. Let's go back there. I need 4 hot spices. That'll help me a little bit. Everyday merchandise. Hello, hello. Hey, how are you?
Just browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you find?
Oh,
today?
I want that. I want that sweet. I want the sweet hot spice. Sweet and spicy. A little sriracha. Now, to find a fire, a lot of times people will make one right there for you. It's kind of nice. But today, no such luck. And then you're... Oh, there, someone made one right there. As I said, almost always someone has made a fire out here. I love it. We're making some Dragon Breath chili. It does nothing except occasionally allow you to... essentially, it does the same thing, except not as cool as the Thunder Blue Boot. I'm not going to save it. I don't care. But that did give us a point of cooking. Okay. Back to selling off some more of our stuff. Okay, I'm going to pot commit to these weapons. Ooh, that was good. Over. I don't want this Skull of Impending Doom. That can go. That can go. I'm getting rid of all this stuff, so I'm not even tempted to be like, I should switch back. Okay, that has to. These have to go in the inventory. Okay, now I'm scanning. I do need the citrine. It's part of it. All right, so the only thing is I have to go back to the bank real quick to ditch that elemental earth, and then we're good. Then we can go pick up these quests. I could stop and smelt while I am, if I decide to go via Iron Forge, but I don't really have to do that.
Welcome to the Bank of
And here we go. Okay, so page 27, I've got multiple of those now.
Do you already have
And another elemental earth. We actually have 6 of those. Pretty good. What's this person's name? Assista Gavin. Assista Gavin? I don't know. All right, so let's look at the 2 pieces we have here. So up here, we don't need that. We do not need that. We need this, the Missing Diplomat. That's a quest chain. I'm going to pick that one up in a second because that's really going to get us started here. Other than that, there's what's Mazin's Behest. I don't think Mazin's Behest is the one we need. We need Morgenstern, which is way down there. So Morgenstern from August Stern is what we're going to pick up. And then we have today's real goal is I wanted us to be able to do at least I wanted to do the Missing Diplomat quest chain. I don't know if we'll get the whole thing done. Since I'm farting around, don't know if I can get it all done, but we'll work on it some more tomorrow as well. I should be able to have a productive weekend. We should be able to bust all of Dustwallow Swamp out, Dustwallow Marsh out this weekend for Alliance. And then over the course of next week, there's more. There's August Stern right there. I should be able to get the rest.
Hey there. I'm developing a new menu for the restaurant. It will be filled with rural dishes with a bayou theme. I think my clientele at the Blue Recluse will love them. I sent my nephew Morgan to Theramore, a city on the edge of the Dustwallow Marsh. He's there gathering recipes from the locals, and I must know what he found so far. The trip to Theramore is long, too long for me. But I bet a young adventurer like yourself would jump at the chance to travel, yes?
Sure thing. All right, so it is simply a breadcrumb. A breadcrumb called, and we'll mess with that in a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay. We're gonna have a point where we have to fly, so I'm gonna try to keep track of what we do on this quest chain here, because a lot of it, the first few steps are going to be flying around, going to Stormwind, going to Duskwood, going to just different places. This is a chain that I consider a Dustwallow chain because it culminates in Dustwallow, and you're only, in my opinion, you are only as powerful as your most powerful part. So same thing in Hinterlands, for instance. I just finished Hinterlands, and there's some quests which I'm going to tag as Zul'Farrak quests because you must beat Zul'Farrak to do them, and I have Zul'Farrak ranked higher than completing Hinterlands as a whole. So those quests will get tagged into that rather than tagged into Hinterlands, which is what they're officially categorized as. So that's a little small decision that I make, that personal decision. It helps me with my organization. All right, Archbishop Alonso's Fowl. Hello, buddy. Statue of you. All right, I think that's a little boy that actually, Thomas gives us this chain at the Missing Diplomat. It's a level 28 to get us started. It's pretty low, but it will eventually take us a little bit far. Here's Thomas right here.
Excuse me, sir. Bishop DeLavy asked me to approach adventurers that might be able to help him with a delicate matter. If you could quietly head to Stormwind Keep and speak to him at your earliest convenience, I'm sure he would appreciate your help. Again, please be discreet. It is a matter of some importance.
All right, so the deceptively mature little boy there, hey, that he is the one that is giving us the mission. So this is where we have to kind of keep track of it. This is the Missing Diplomat step 1 that we're on. I want to try to verbalize that so I remember where we are and how far we get. The Missing Diplomat step 1. I'm going to stop by and smelt on the way, but we're going now into Stormwind Keep where we're going to turn in this step. He just basically says, Hey, someone asked for some help. It makes me remember actually this moment when I was 14 years old and I was really, really into a particular Sublime song that is not one of their main hits. It's from their Robin the Hood CD. So this is before, you know, their big hits were coming out. I loved it. It's a 2-word song title. Date is the first word. And my 14-year-old self just absolutely went bonkers for this song. I think I heard it maybe on like MTV or something the first time. And then every once in a while I would hear it on the little local alternative rock radio station that was piped into my town. So, because I wanted to hear it, I would just call in. And my friends and I, we would call in all the time asking for this song. We wanted it so bad. But one time, a female radio disc jockey answered the call, and she took my request. And I don't know that she ever played the song, but I remember this one moment where she was asking me my name, and she asked me what my age was. And she was probably just having me on to, you know, pump me up as a child. She was like, "Oh, your voice is so deep. I thought you were a grown man. I would ask you out for a date, blah, blah." In hindsight, she was clearly, I don't necessarily say poking fun at me, but...
Hello, adventurers. I'm Bishop DeLavy. No doubt if you're asking me about my business here in the keep, then young Thomas has succeeded in requisitioning you to help our kingdom. He has always been adept at following my requests. I'm afraid
Gross.
I don't have time to elaborate much, so allow me to be blunt. And please, try to keep this from becoming common knowledge.
Okay, so this is step 1 complete, and now we're going to start step 2.
Recently, a diplomat was sent to Theramore to meet with Jaina Proudmoore. That diplomat never arrived. I believe the Defias are involved in this plot, but I'm not sure how. The diplomat's disappearance still eludes public attention, but it can't remain that way for long. Agents of the king are already scouring the city for clues, but I have my own contacts I would like involved. In the Valley of Heroes is an old friend of mine named Jorgen. Find him, give him this note, and follow his instructions.
This is, so far, this is just a little bit weird. So, step 1, a boy that is really good at following the bishop's instructions, and always is good at that, is requisitioned the task of being the one to find a hero, a paladin, someone of that sort, to carry out an important mission. Then when you go talk to the guy, he says, okay, well, there's a diplomat that it was supposed to go meet with Jaina Proudmoore. They never got there. The guards are trying to figure out what it is. But me, the churchgoer, the bishop, I want to conduct my own personal investigation because I have my own intelligence operative contacts. Okay, so now we're getting into like some Da Vinci Code, like weird next level spy movie type stuff. Why? And also, again, at this point, why am I the one? Why is a boy bringing me to you and you are now sending me to your contacts? Why would you not just go have a conversation? Very weird. Let's read the note he gave us. Jorgen, since that's how they said it. My fears have come true and they have acted in ways I never thought capable. Never did I think they would get this close, but they have. Oh, and by the way, they suspect this is all a Defias thing, which tracks with the level 20-ish level of this quest. Please help the bearer of this note and send him to him. In all honesty, I think he'll aid us because the seriousness of this matter, if it were any other threat, he would probably continue to ignore us and the problems of the city, of our fair city. Thank you, you old fisherman. I'm indebted to you as always, your friend DeLavy. So does he even tell us that what does he say? In the Valley of Heroes. So you get that clue that he is a fisherman, and you hear it's the Valley of Heroes. And this is Jorgen, so you'd see this guy. You also know his name. All right, so this is finishing up the Missing Diplomat, Step 2. You better have good reason to interrupt a man in his fishing. I don't take... Oh, actually, his name is Jorgen. I don't take kindly to peddlers, let alone beggars.
All right, I'll help you, but not because I want to, but because I'm obligated. And let's get one thing straight. You're knowing far more than you should to begin with. Let's keep this our little secret, and don't go blabbing at any taverns about anything you find out. Understand?
It says, he looks up at you through squinted eyes.
Take this here note to Ellen Trias. Don't say nothing else to him. Just be polite and wait for him to respond, and don't worry, he will. I'm gonna only impress this on you once more, adventurer. Treat this matter seriously and keep your yapper shut. You can find Trias at his cheese shop, Trias Cheese, in the Trade District. Good luck.
I feel like the AI is trying to learn how to do accents now. I don't know. But now step 3, we're on the Missing Diplomat step 3, where this guy's like, okay, I will help. I'm going to basically introduce you to one more contact, one that we've actually already worked with as an intelligence operative. He has a sealed note for us to bring to Ellen Trias or Trias. The AI says it both ways. In the cheese, this was part of the post-quest chain after you finish Stockades. So I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of the investigations that are dealing with the Defius send us to some of these same guys. And that's basically what's happening now. This person that is kind of in the unofficial intelligence community here that for whatever reason hangs out upstairs at a cheese shop. He's our next person we're bringing the sealed note to, which is step 3. Hello, Gleekintessa. Is there something I can do for you? Perhaps you'd like to try some of our special Trias cheddar or a block of Darnassian blue.
I'm sorry. A letter for me. Well, I'll be not often. You get a delivery that's not a crate or barrel when all you do is work. Let's see what this is about. You look a little tense. You okay, adventurer?
Okay, so first of all, AI, let me help you if you're listening. It should be, well, I'll be. Okay, so let's work on the tonnage there. It says Ellen looks up at you while he opens the letter, and now we're going to start step 4 of the Missing Diplomat.
Son of a... So that's how it's going to be, huh? All right, I can deal with that. I hope he finds the twisting nether that much sooner. Here's what's going to happen, adventurer. I'll start using my contacts here, but you're doing most of the footwork, so I save some coin. Head to Darkshire and Duskwood and find Watcher Bacchus. He usually patrols the North Road right outside of town. Just tell him you're looking into any Defias activity for me, and he'll help you out with any information he can.
All right, so we are now taking another sealed note, a note we are not to look at because apparently we know more than we should. And we're going to take this to Duskwood. So this guy just doesn't have to spend the money to fly there himself. It also sounds like he is being blackmailed by Jorgen and a minor blackmail situation. And he's like, okay, well, I have a contact from a guy in the Duskwood. Whoops, I totally fell down. And I wish I could say that's the first time I've fallen in that exact same spot in my life. But it's not even close. All right, so we're on step 4, which is to go to Darkshire. Close flight. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start setting up our spreadsheet. So we're going to go ahead and open up 3 columns. And we're going to go ahead and pick up this bad boy right here. Bam, bam. We're going to take this off. We're actually doing Dustwallow Marsh as an alliance person. And I'm going to bam, 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 bam. And bam, 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 all of that. And we're not doing the Lost Dwarves. We're going to start with the first quest, which we picked up, which is called Morgenstern, which is just a breadcrumb. And if that's be careful, you definitely want to make sure you do that one. If you don't do it, that one will eradicate. So that's one of those, if you want to be a completionist, you've got to pick it up. Okay, I do think you can also pick it up from Menethil Harbor, though, whichever this one is. Yeah, you can pick it up from Menethil Harbor, I believe, if you don't pick it up there, but you do have to pick it up. All right, step 1 was the little boy sending you to the bishop. We did pick up and complete that one. Okay, bam. Then step 2 was going from the bishop to old Yorgipoo. outside fishing. Bam. Then step 3 was going from Yorgie Poo to the cheese guy, Elias Trias. Wouldn't that be lame for him? And now step 4 is going from Elias to Darkshire, which we're already almost there. In the time it took us to set up that spreadsheet, we are going and landing. Cool. Also notice we've been getting like 25 XP every step, so it's pretty crap. We're up to 28. I don't know if it started at 28 or if it started at 24. Can't remember. We also have supplies for Netherguard. I gotta remember to pick that up. This guy does pat. So we're looking for Watcher Bacchus, but he does pat up this road. So if he's not right there in town, Questy gives the game away there by showing you the pat path. You can see Questy will show that as a dot, like it's an ore piece. But you can see him walking away. We're running him down. Come back, fool!
Need help?
Not too safe to be traveling about in the woods, Gleek and Tessa. Be careful. And if you see anything suspicious or dangerous, contact the Watchers immediately. Don't try and take anything on yourself. We are not responsible for anything terrible that might happen to you. But we both know you're going to ignore me and fight whatever comes out of the darkness anyway, don't we? Yeah, you adventure types. All the same.
Oh, Tria sent you, huh? That's a little different. Feel free to fight whatever monstrosities come at you from the darkness. I'm sure you'll be able to handle it pretty easily if you're the type to be hanging around with the likes of him. So, what does my friend need of me on such a gloomy day as this?
Okay, so typical Night Watch guy, and he's just like, okay, what's my buddy want?
Defias
Step
activity?
5.
There's always some activity. Even if they keep to themselves, we consider them a threat. But now that I think about it, there was a recent sighting that seemed odd. It must have been a couple weeks ago, but some of their agents had gathered around Adel's stead. From the report, I'd guessed something big went down. Why don't you check there first? And bring me back anything you find. The farmstead is south of the road from Westfall, just as you enter Duskwood.
Alright, so let's kind of take a peek at that, but we did finish step 4, and we're now step 5. Now, at this point, the difficulty ups a pinch because we're no longer just dealing with some junk that you pick up in Stormwind. Now we're dealing with a quest that you'd have to deal with in Duskwood, and on the more difficult end of Duskwood, which is the southern area. So they've upped this up to a level 30. So maybe we'll get more than 25 experience, although not much. We're going to make our way along this road over to this farm over here. It's a little bit annoying that we're going to have to make this run. At least we have a horse. I did not have a horse when I did this on my mage. In fact, I still don't have a mount on my mage. I have yet to recover from all the gold I spent learning all the enchantment things. But I have been and also the fact that I disenchant everything. But I am stingy. And, I'll have to answer that later. This work emails. People have a really bad habit at my job about emailing at all times of the night. All right, so to recap, essentially this guy, I feel like we should look and see what he says. He basically says, like, okay, something in the sealed note is sniffing around, more and more people alluding to the fact that the Defias have something to do with this. And he says, well, I mean, that's kind of like, stating the obvious. They have something to do with everything, even when they don't, basically. They're an active criminal organization that sucks and is around here all the time. So, yeah, I'm sure they do. And we always are keeping tabs on them, he says. But you know what? There was a recent sighting. I got the killing blow on old Stitches there. Owned. Okay. So, he said it was a couple weeks back, but some of their agents gathered around this farm. Why? I don't freaking know. and they think something big went down at that farm. Go check it out. So we are going to go check it out. This farm is infested. What went down there? That's a big question. Why is it happening there? I mean, it is right across the way from Westfall, so there need not be anything tied to the overall sinister happenings of Darkshire. That doesn't have to be what's going on. It could just be proximity, and it's a way to tie a higher level zone there. But for whatever reason, something was going on at this farm that brought the Defius there, and a showdown happened. Now, without getting too far into it, if we start to connect some dots to what to do at Memento, like watching Memento the second time, was someone potentially hiding out there? Was there an operation going on there? Either way, if there was something big that went down, it suggests a larger operation. You can hear the stealthing Defius all around anyway. Plus, there are night blades, so there are Defius everywhere. I said Defius, but there is Defius. So within here, I'm guessing inside there is what we need. So let's go ahead and mount up. This is the perfect place to fight, considering I'm going to be breaking in this sword, and I'm level 18 with this sword. So I'm going to 2v1 these guys. That is what it is. Look at that. Love that. Love that for myself. Okay, so we are now level 18. Maxed out. Now working on a level 19 with the sword. This is actually going to give us a little bit. This is a better version of fighting a target dummy, and it is going to slow us down a pinch, but we need it if we're going to make this sword work. Okay, now we're maxed out level 19, and now, oh, we got a crit. Look at that crit. That was delicious. Okay, so now we're working as though we were level 20. Okay, love it. Don't love him poisoning me, but cool. And we're so strong that it doesn't really matter. We're not even hitting once, but this is a big help. Okay, now we're maxed out level 20. Remember, we are in fact level 47. Okay, now we're working as though we're 21. Oh, look at that's the special glow for me getting this strength of stone, and it lasts a pretty dang long time. What was that? 10 seconds or something? 8 seconds is pretty good. Okay, so that's pretty good. And now that I am, no, this guy wants to fight. Okay, now that I am working on 22. Remember, these guys are only 26, so even though this is a low hit rate, it is well within the ability to hit these guys. Okay, now I'm maxed out level 22. And now working on level 23. Oops. So still pretty below where they are, but I just procced that thing again. So it does proc a pretty decent amount of time. That's cool. Love it. All right, I'm a maxed out 23 now. And now I'm working on 24. I got some moon juice. Nah, these aren't very good things, but just helped us get up a little bit. This is... Okay, and here we have this one. I mean, this is just a start. But look, these guys are almost too low because now I can effectively fight in Duskwood, basically. I'm too good. Alright, I'm a maxed out 24. So we're going to open this chest, the Defius Strongbox. Cool, we got a Defius Docket. What is that? I don't know. We have to go bring it back to the guy. So now we're going to march our way back to Duskwood. Let's see if it's something we can read. Can we? We could. So this is not sealed. This is a 3-page docket. Check it out. Our first plan has already failed. Fist was successful in switching the guard roster for the tunnel shifts that evening. But due to some unforeseen efforts by some of the citizens of Stormwind, our target was able to flee from the scene before we could capture him. So is this a kind of a weird, like, time travel-y Bronze Dragonflight sort of way? Like, am I the citizen? Am I a hero that stopped this original thing from happening, but we're going back now? Like, I don't know. But we planned for such contingencies. Plan 2 has been set in motion and was well underway before our ambush was set off in Stormwind. Unless this is, in fact, referencing to our efforts in the stockade, and the stockade breakout was actually all set up because there was some tunnel building going on there. Is that what's happening? But we screwed that up by beating stockade. And this is stockade level quest, so I like that idea even better. It makes more sense. Plan 2 is just as simple, but will require more patience on our part. Our man on the inside in Menethil has already been paid for his efforts, and he's succeeded brilliantly. We should have no problem acquiring our target and capturing him once we set sail. So there is a target that was originally situated in Stormwind. That was an assassination was planned on said target, or a capture, or something by the Defias. I think the agents were supposed to have gotten in and out of the city through tunnels created in the stockades. That's my theory, but we screwed that up by quelling the uprising in the stockades. However, they will also be traveling across the continent, necessitating to the other continent, Kalimdor, necessitating a sea flight, a ship travel, and because of that, they have an inside man now that can hijack that ship or steer it off course. Maybe they're the captain. Expect the attack to happen a few miles from their destination. That's where our allies will be laid in waiting. I'm not sure why we've been forced to form an alliance with the creatures, but I can't help but feel we were being coerced ourselves. Ultimately, it won't matter. With the target in our custody, we'll be well on our way to taking back Stormwind from those who stole it from us. We'll discuss that in a moment. Let's talk to Watcher Bacchus.
Light be with you.
Be careful out there, Glicantessa. I know Trias was the one to send you here, but that doesn't mean there isn't anything lurking out in the woods that wouldn't cause you some trouble, especially with you investigating the Defias.
You're back safe and sound. Couldn't ask for much more than that, could you? Now, let's see what we have here. This looks pretty official as far as any Defias documents I've seen, but it could be a dupe just to throw you off track of whatever it is you're looking for. Whoa, this looks way too complex to be something to just lead you astray. I shouldn't even be looking at this stuff. Take it to Trias. He'll be able to make sense of it. And don't let anyone get in your way. This is bigger than me. It might even be bigger than him, but we'll see. And do me a favor, stranger, don't tell anyone I helped you. If my superiors found out I knew about any of this and didn't share it with them, they'd probably hang me.
Okay, so everybody keeps insinuating like this is a big deal. Alright, so he wants me to go bring this back to Trias. Elias Trias. And in the cheese shop. Now, what does this say is, okay, so now we know that this person is such an important target to the Stormwind structure that if he were to be captured, it would provide them with such power and or leverage that they would be able to completely retake Stormwind itself. So now you're starting to see that this is a high-level kidnapping operation, possibly the highest possible level. We also know that just a few miles outside of Menethil, where is that going to happen exactly? Who knows? The kind of mutiny, shipwreck, whatever, the hijacking, the kidnapping is going to go down. And it's going to go down with the aid of some discussing creatures. So most likely some non-human, some humanoid types are going to be, for some reason, someone has leverage over them. They don't even know why. The Defias don't even know why. But they're going to be working with another faction. What's the story there? Will we even find out, or will it just be a way to get some different mobs onto this adventure? We also know, just imagine that, let's say there was a high-ranking political official that was planning on an assassination, and we are working through underground intelligence channels, like a Liam Neeson Taken style of way of fighting crime. This guy, because it's through his friend, is going to help us pursue the case, but then is not turning said information over to, say, the CIA or FBI or Secret Service or whatever. And he's saying, I would probably not only get in trouble, like, they'd hang me for treason for letting you guys handle this on your channels, but I guess he either owes that guy, or he trusts him, or just their friendship is so strong. But for whatever reason, everyone's allowing us to pursue this case and find these good clues through these back channels. It's kind of weird. Why would we not work together all at the same time? That part, I don't know, unless you're also insinuating the many people within the Stormwind government are not to be trusted. But I don't think we've gotten there yet.
Can I help you?
I see you're back and in one piece. We both know you're not here for cheese, so let's cut out the pleasantries. Oh, I just realized we did complete the one in Duskwood, step 5. And we just picked up step 6, which is go back to him. I don't want to mess that up. Was Bacchus any help, or have you even left for Duskwood yet?
Yeah, this is an interesting read. Jorgen and Delave were smart to bring me in on this. Seems
The
the
lady?
Delave have been trying pretty hard to complete this plan of theirs. What's this? Fist? That's a familiar name.
All right, so Fist wasn't the operative within Stormwind that was trying to help with the whole tunnel building. And step 6 is now done, going back, and this is going to open up step 7 for us. So even all of this quest line, this is pretty short. I mean, we're gonna accomplish a lot of quests here. We're about to pick up step 7.
Yeah, now that I think about it, Dashel something. What was his name? Fist. Dashel Stonefist. They call him Fist in some circles. Probably on account that he likes to get in brawls. You can find him in Old Town usually, right smack dab in the center of it. Go talk to him. If you have to, use a sword or something heavy and blunt to persuade him to open up some. And don't hesitate. If he's in this as deep as these papers suggest, then he's not going to give you any information willingly.
All right, so step 7 is now to 31, so we've upped the difficulty a pinch. And as bad as I am with this sword, it's basically a blunt weapon, but we're going to go talk to this guy, Dashel Stonefist. This is a fun little quest chain, BT dubs. I do like it. It's one of these. I really think the person that wrote this is the same one that wrote a lot of the Duskwood style quests. Like, that person was really interested in long story driven quest chains that were all named the same thing. It has that person's feel to it, if I had to guess. I'd like to find out, maybe if I was ever able to get deep in it one day, to find out who made these different ones. Do they still work for the company? What's the story in Morning Glory? All right, we go in this little alley up here, and you'll find a dwarf right here. There's also this guy, Old Beasley. That's part of another quest. They like to have you come back here and fight.
What? You come into me alley and ask questions about me personal business? Business which you obviously have nothing to do with.
All right, so right off the bat, this guy's hot-headed, and he's just like, he's going to be all bluster at first, so we're going to have to interrogate a la Assassin's Creed. We're going to have to interrogate this guy in step 8.
Yeah, you're obviously not the smartest person to come into Stormwind, but you're about to be one of the dumbest to never leave. Have you met me friends?
Defeat Dashel Stonefist in Stormwind. Okay. Alright, okay, enough fighting. No one needs to be hurt. So, I did beat them. I raised almost up to level 25. So, they kind of ran off. I can continue to fight them. Look, they're still there. He says, "No, you're gonna get it good, Gleekantessa." Okay, enough fighting. No one else needs to get hurt. The other guy ran away, though. I don't know where he went. It's okay, boys. Back off. You've done enough. I'll meet up with you later. Yeah, okay, boss. No problem. Alright, boss. You sure, though? Just seems like a waste of good practice. That's what I felt. That's why I hit you again, but I didn't get any points for it. There's another guy over there, a little shady dude.
So you came to me for a reason. What is it you need?
Alright, so just step 8 was beat him up, which we did. Cool. Step 9, we are going to continue to investigate said dwarf.
So, I might know something about that meeting at Adel's Stead. Happened a few weeks back, I think. I really didn't have any part in it. Me part was done when Plan A failed. Damn adventurers. The guy we got on the inside for Plan B came out of Menethil. Guy called Slim. That's all I know regarding their backup plan.
So all we know for sure is he was involved in Plan A, which was the tunnel project. So he's a dwarf, makes sense. He was just somehow involved in that, maybe directly in helping them get the materials to build the tunnels, maybe after the fact. But step 9 here is to go back to Elias. So we beat him up, and what he did was he gave us a name. It wasn't a lot, but he basically said, there is a dude in Menethil, that's the name of the inside guy. Now, is the inside guy the captain of the boat? Is it just an inside guy that's going to help organize the kidnapping before they even get to Menethil? That's what it made it sound like. Maybe this isn't even going to happen on the boat. Maybe this is before they get shipside. But go back and tell Elias the name and location. We have a couple things.
Good to see you're still alive, adventurer. So, it went well with Dashel then, huh? I've been reading up more on this plan of theirs, and although it doesn't state the name of the diplomat they were after, it does talk about this Plan B they enacted after failing on their first attempt to capture him. This Slim that Dashel mentioned doesn't have any other name written here, but if you say he's in Menethil, then that's a start.
All right, so that's it. He's not saying anything. He's basically saying, okay, yeah, you have a place and you have a name. That's good enough for us to take step 10, the next step in this investigation.
A contact of mine retired in the Wetlands at the harbor city of Menethil. He should be willing to help on your word alone if you tell him you're working for me. His name is Mikhail. He mentioned becoming a bartender before leaving Stormwind a few years ago. Speak to him, find this Slim, and find out if there's anything else to know about this kidnapped diplomat. We need to find out where they've taken him, or at least who he is. The docket doesn't mention anything about their plans after he's captured.
Okay. So, there we go. He's just basically saying, yeah, let's just go talk to my dude. I can at least... So he's giving us one extra little wrinkle here. He's saying, go talk to my guy. I do know a guy out that way. He's no longer, running in the same circles. But we are former friends. He's a bartender out there. And maybe he can start pointing in the direction if we do know there is a guy named Slim that's out there. And that's what we're going to now do. We're going to make a little flight over to Menethil. Not super close, but not super far. All right, so if we take a peek at what we have coming up here, there's 14 totals. Actually, if you look, the Missing Diplomat chain takes us all the way down. So I don't think we're going to finish the entire chain today, now that I look and see. What we'll probably do is get so far that we make our way over to Dustwallow, and then we'll pick up all the quests there, and then pick up Journey to Astronar and High Perch Venom and go do those. The others are lame. There's not a lot. We are going to need to go back there eventually. It's really the majority of the zone is this. I mean, there are these neutral ones. The problem is we're going to need to make that Moonsteel Sword, and where am I going to go? Because Astronar and the other one's in Stone Talon, so we're going to hit the ground running over here, and it's going to give us a quest that has us fly to Astronar. That's PvP. We're also going to be hitting up Stone Talon. But when I have to make the journey to fly to Astronar, it might be a good idea to get the things I need to see the soothing spices. I think you could just get that at the town. But yeah, we're gonna be in a tough sitch because I should have honestly just built one while I was there. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Because what do we need for this Moonsteel broadsword? And I'm gonna need to get another one. It's gonna be a shame. Um, I think I had 2 heavy leather. I have 2 lesser moonstones that you can purchase, and steel comes from iron. I do have 40 iron, but I'm gonna have to use 8. So that means while I'm running around in the world, I need 8 more iron. So that we're actually almost pretty, and I have all the heavy grinding stones I need. Really, it's going to be buying a single lesser moonstone and a single heavy leather. That's not a big deal. Um, and then yeah, like I said, pulling that off for Horde, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Oh, you know what? How are we doing on fishing too? I should be checking that out. I don't know if we can fish today, but I'm at 230. I should be 235. Yeah, so we are behind on fishing. But today I'm a little bit tight on time. I don't think it's gonna happen. We're still flying up to Wetlands. Yeah, but we could easily start with some fishing, whether it's Ashenvale or whatever it is. Because what I'd like to do is get that journey to Astronar, so that off camera we can make the flight from there to Astronar, because that's a long flight too. And then that would allow me to actually, before I come back, that would allow me to hearth, and I can buy some of that stuff. I might as well make, yeah, I've got to really, I'm going to have to send my Horde character on my other account, my wife's Horde character, to Booty Bay and use the neutral auction house to then quickly flip that Moonsteel sword over, then send that one to my other character. So at some point we need to do that also. Got to be careful too, because I can't mail it to my Alliance character on that account. I could get an Alliance character over there. There's just basically a lot of little things. Better yet, if I could just buy one. It's just so hard to buy stuff right now, especially on Horde. Horde is just completely dead on this server cluster that I'm on right now. And there's, I'm gonna answer this. All right, so alrighty, so the one thing that might take us a bit of time when we're here, I think one of these quests is going to have us actually look for or kill something. I can't quite remember. Maybe I'm wrong on that. All right. So here we are. We're about to land. There's no true quests here. You could also, I believe, you can pick up Morgenstern while you're in this little area. I think, but I'm not 100%. I think, but I'm not 100%. All right, let's go turn this quest in. We have already fully completed Wetlands, and this is a old haunt of ours, this little Deepwater Tavern. Let's talk to old Mikhail.
Welcome, adventurer. Good of you to join us. Perhaps an ale today, or some mutton? Name your pleasure, and I'll see to it that you're taken care of. My name is Mikhail, and I look forward to serving you. What's that? Trius? Keep your voice down, my friend. This isn't something for the whole tavern to hear about.
All right, so this is going to help us end step 10, which is then going to pick up step 11 with us. So step 10 was we made it there to the Wetlands. And we're going to talk to his friend, and then when we're talking to him, he says, well, first of all, like, don't associate me on paper with Trius. Oh, by the way, these are now starting to give us 130 XP, and we're up to level 33. Also, we're asking about Slim, and that's another thing. We don't want anybody. But look right there. There's to poke Slim John right there.
You say Elling sent you here. Well then, the hospitality I expressed is now tenfold. Anything you need, just ask. I will do my best to aid you. Slim, you say. Not sure the name sounds familiar, but I'll keep my eyes out for him. Don't look now, friend, but the gentleman over by
This
the
guy.
exit is looking over here. He's listening to our conversation a little too intently, if you catch my meaning. If I were you, I'd do what you can to subdue him before he makes a break for the door.
And we are going to do that. So he stealthed out, but... Oh, it's on now. Bet you thought I'd be alone, huh? Okay, so he's at 34, and he is not alone. Two dudes. This other guy's name is Slim's friend. I'm just allowing myself to fight them. Now I'm up to level 26, and now I'm working on level 27. I just got an actual real hit. And these guys are level 34, so they're a little bit below where I should otherwise want to be, but, you know, it's helping me raise level. A little bit. I'm not really not raising that fast. Okay, now I'm working as a level 28. I think I need to heal myself. So they're a little stronger than... Oh. I mean, I'll stop messing around at some point if I have to. They're 2v1ing me. I don't think he's gonna let me kill him either. I think at some point he'll be like, no, ignorant. Okay, so almost maxing out 28. Cool, 28 is maxed out. I'm basically using them as target dummies. Okay, cool, 28's maxed out. Oh, he interrupted me. What a jerk. And that cut off all holy magic, which is everything I have. I don't even have a potion. I guess I would breathe fire on him with the boot flask if I had to. Okay, I'm now working on my level 29 stuff. Just now 5 levels below these guys, which is now I'm starting to trigger some hits. Whoa, this is way more than I bargained for. You're on your own, Slim. Okay, no need to get all violent. I'll talk. I have a few notes from the job back at my place. I'll get them and then meet you back at the end. Okay, so we defeated Tapoke John, or Jan. It seems like we have a lot of, like, Swedish-sounding names. Jorgen and Jan. I'm glad the commotion died down. Some around here, the last thing this place needs is another brawl.
Got him, huh? Good for you. I'm surprised that was Slim. I'll be honest, I never thought I'd miss the excitement of some of the more devious underground activities. I guess old habits die hard. Don't mention that to Elling. He'd probably try and get me to come back to Stormwind if he heard I missed the action. I'm glad I could at least be of a little service to you while you were in Menethil. If you need anything else, just ask.
So basically he did point out the right guy, the Slim guy, and that guy, after we also, Assassin's Creed, interrogated him with our fists, or blunt sword, he says, let me go get some info and I'll be back. And he has another 33 quests for us.
The Defias didn't pay me well enough to die for their cause. They took the king. Yeah, the king of Stormwind, not some lowly diplomat. He was on his way to Theramore to meet with Jaina Proudmoore. It was a big deal, apparently, and a big secret. But it's not just the Defias that are involved. They're working with someone. I think they knew this was bigger than them. My part was just to get their man on board the king's ship while it was in the harbor. The guy's name was Hendel. That's all I know. I swear.
All right, so we have A, confirmed the Defias are part of this. Their mission is, we've also confirmed the target is the highest possible target in the Alliance, the King of Stormwind, the literal leader of the entire Alliance. We also know that they did successfully abduct him. So we know that's why he's gone. That's why there's a boy king in Stormwind. So this is a huge quest line. From the lore perspective, it really tumbles all these dominoes into place. And it ties into one more thing. Hey, they are also, to do this, they basically got in bed with a much powerful entity. And they're realizing, this people are powerful than us. This entity has ties to non-human people. And as we've alluded to before, that's why the Defias have to work with these non-humans. Now, from a smaller micro, this guy's job was just to help sneak their kidnapper onto the king's ship. And the guy's name is Hendel. That's all we know.
See you later.
So now we're going to go back and talk to him and say, no, I'm guessing we have another name.
The king? I mean, the king, the real king. Are you joking? You didn't mention you were looking for the king's kidnappers? I didn't even hear he was missing. That would explain his son being crowned some. I'll send word to Elling right away. He'll want to know you're on the trail. I would never have guessed John would sell out Stormwind for some lousy coin. Even a rogue's gotta have honor when it comes to some things. The key now is to find this Hendel. And I think I can help with that.
Yeah, they're just kind of freaking messed up. Like, you're literally selling out the entire alliance to make a few bucks. Okay, and now we're on to step 13 here. We're going to pick this up from... And we don't have to go back to Stormwind. He's going to do that part for us. 25 XP.
Marines all get paid and usually leave Theramore for somewhere else. A lot of them come here to womanize, carouse,
cool.
and just have a good time. One of those groups I'd consider regulars here at the tavern, and I believe this Hendel is among them. Commander Samal in Theramore would be able to help you find him if Hendel's still stationed there. He's completely loyal to Proudmoore, but if you drop Elling's name, he should help you out. Discreetly.
Alright, so this mission now he's saying, okay, this guy, this insider, I think your dude is a member of the Stormwind military, which would make him an insider of the best kind. Oh, I wonder if I can make that ship. It's here. Come on. Run, little horsey, run. Run. I think we maybe are enough. We can do it. Alright, cool. So he says, now if you go over there, there's another one of my contacts over there, and they can probably point you out. You know, give them the info, and let's see what we have to work with here. And this is also serving as further passage across the sea to Dustwallow, where we are now going to be in Theramore, where I want to pick up some quests, and we'll work just a pinch more in the quest order here. There's not a ton of quests for us to pick up when we get there. We're going to turn that in and get the next one. There is a quest called Shadow Shard Fragments. That's not real. I believe Shadow Shard Fragments... Yeah, that's a Maraudon quest. I think you can pick it up a few different places. We're not really picking that one up. And there is the Mudrock Stupinbugs, Journey to Ashnar, and High Perch Venom. So the two low ones, plus this one, they call him Smiling Jim. We'll look that one up next time. Those are all out about in the world. Well, some of them are. We're going to turn that one in, pick that one up. This, I don't even remember what that's from. That's tied to the Black Shield questline. There's really, really very little. There's a couple of these unique, weird ones out there. This guy's, Stinky's Escape, and the Hungry. So there are these weird little neutral spots. And then there is the investigation of this little area. Maybe one of these might send us out there. I don't know. It's not very much. But it will allow us to begin our journey. I'm not going to fully explore Theramore today. We are now in the situation where I do want to explore it. We have to fish here. That'll be on tomorrow's episode. I'll be under a little bit less of a time crunch. Again, we are not going to take Archmage Turvosh's Shadow Shard Fragment quest. I actually think you might be able to pick that up in some other places too. If you look here, maybe. No, you have to get it from here. Interesting. But we're not even close to doing Maraudon. Not even close. Maraudon is going to happen at the end of Tier 6, which we are only just now in the 3 out of 4 of Tier 5, so we still have 5 more zones after this one, and we're just starting this one. Alright, but in this little base, the Foothold Citadel, that's where the next step of the Missing Diplomat is. Again, we're going to explore these areas next time. This is the
It is good to see you again, Dr. Adventure.
surgeon,
I have been
doctor.
following your progress, and I dare say that it is time you learn
I'm a
some
stinking
of the more
doctor.
advanced bandaging techniques. Return to me from time to time as your skill advances, and I shall teach you all that I know.
I shall. So we're going to talk to Commander Semal, and I think maybe he was in that book we read.
A pleasure to meet you, adventurer. I am Commander Semal. I'm in charge of Miss Proudmoore's forces here in Theramore. Although I'm quite busy, if you have any questions, please feel free to speak up. I might have to keep it short, but there's no reason for me to be rude if you need my help. If you plan on traveling out of the city, I'd suggest you be careful. Besides ogres, orcs, and murlocs, the southern part of the swamp is filled with black dragons.
All right, so a couple things going on here. One, we are meeting our guy, and we're going to get the next step in this process. And two, is it coincidence? We're in a zone in Missing Diplomat here, where we're finishing this quest line. The kidnapping person has been taken to the land that is currently a hotbed for black dragon activity.
Hendel, yes, I know the man, but why would you need one of my soldiers? Elling sent you to find him? I don't like the sound of that. Elling wouldn't have you come to me first if your business wasn't troubling. I understand if you can't tell me what this is about, but know this. I have a duty to protect these lands. If you're going to cause a disturbance, then I suggest you inform me of whatever you can. I believe Hendel was stationed at the first tower outside of Theramore. Be cautious.
All right, so that's what we're gonna pick that up after. The quest is now up to 35, just simply based on the merits of us having to travel out into the swamps of Dustwallow, which you absolutely should not be doing below level 35. As a matter of fact, I would argue you shouldn't be doing it below higher level than that. At least high level 30s, maybe even into the 40s. We'll find out when we're exploring out there. But we are at 47, are more than capable of anything in the zone. We are over leveled past it. All right, so the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the end and pick up this cluster of quests. And at that point, I'm going to go back to the flight path to fly us over to Astronar. But this is about where we're at. We've completed with all of that. We will have completed, when all is said and done, 15 quests today in this little short time. This is why I can never keep up when I play on my own. I would never have that many done in one day.
Oh, my uncle sent you, did he? Well, I've been researching recipes and I have some leads, but I need help. Help from someone willing to get his feet wet.
Okay.
I'm working on a dish I call mudrock soup and bugs.
Disgusting.
I still need the major ingredients and, well, I don't think I'd last long trudging through Dustwallow Marsh. So, adventurer, can you do some hunting for me? First, I need the tongues of mudrock turtles. You can find mudrocks along the coast, mostly around the bay. But I don't want just any tongues. I hear that the tongues of some mudrocks are forked. They say the forked tongues have a distinct flavor.
Gross.
That flavor in my dish.
Gross as absolute heck. All right, so we turned in Morgan Stern, which that was our breadcrumb. It said they call him Smiling Jim. I believe that is the alternative one, but we're going to look that one up next time. And then we picked up the Mudrock Soup and Bugs. Disgusting. And then here, this lady, Fiora Longears, the High Elf, has a couple quests for us.
What brings you here?
No, Longears isn't my real name, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. So don't ask.
Hello.
If you're fresh off the boat from Menifil, then the first thing you should do is go to Astronar. I'm sure an eager member of the Alliance such as you can do some real good there. Speak with Shindril Swiftfire and offer your services, but don't bother mentioning who sent you. Shindrel does not know me. Well, yeah, she's a night elf, and you're a high elf, and there you go. So we've picked up the most easiest, which is a breadcrumb, the journey to Astronar. And we will complete that one on the next episode. And here goes the last one for today. As you may know, wyverns are often tamed by orcs for use as mounts. But what is less known is that the venom of a wyvern in some circles is more valuable than the beast itself. So if you're not afraid to do a little wyvern hunting, then I have a job for you. There is a place called High Perch in the land of 1,000 needles west of here. The High Perch wyverns have a potent venom. Potent and valuable. Okay, cool. All right, so that is called High Perch Vivum. We're going to get that one, pick that one up. It's not completed, but yeah, like I said, all told, we completed 14 quests because I didn't complete the last one. 14 quests is still a lot. That is more than I've done all week. So, pretty tough stuff. Alrighty, so that's pretty good. I'm going to get on a long flight path because we need to fly over to Astronar and the High Perch Venom. Where is that? It's not there. I don't know why it's not showing me High Perch Venom. It would probably... Oh, yeah, 1,000 Needles. What did I not... Oh, I was looking at the wrong spot. It's those guys. Either way, we have flight paths. We have time to go there, and it'll be fine. All right, everybody. We have done it again. You guys have made it to another episode, and I appreciate you. As a matter of fact, I and Glee Contessa salute you. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching and tuning in. I will see all of you next time on Lore of Warcraft.